for the Invoker mid.
Okay.
If I don't know what that says. Maybe I'm horribly wrong on that.
Why?
I don't know. I was feeling the core Invoker in this game. I think he actually has some decent core matchups, like the EMP burn on the Brewmaster is pretty nasty. The Dispels for the ET and the Monkey are both very good. Invoker kind of just owns Monkey King a lot of the game. It's a really rough core on core matchup. Even we saw, I think, Quinn play this Invoker into Tiny Mid a lot this tournament. And I think similar reasons work against the Sand King in terms of if you just keep Tornado EMPing this hero, you can't make rotations, you can't counter gang fights. It's kind of awkward. And you're a Vessel buyer. So you remove the healing aspect of a Sand King rushing Bloodstone, as well as some of the monkey effects. I thought it was a great core Invoker game. Now,
okay,
a lot of those...
Whoa, hold up. I heard a lot of things, but lanes, who wins harder against Sand King?
Well, Shadow Fiend.
Okay, well then I rest my case, Your Honor.
I mean, there is some merit
Does anything
there.
else matter in this series, Avery?
I mean, to me, it goes back to like that Dazzle Ember pick. It's a cheese lane pick that Quinn basically saying, I'm going to demolish Nisha so hard this guy doesn't get to play the game.
Yep.
That has happened a lot, so there's some fate to be had there.
And if the Sand King doesn't get to play the game, then you don't have anybody to stop this push that's going to be coming from Gamin Gladiators, though a push from Liquid comes through to get first blood on Celery.
Yeah, sneaky move. Hiding back behind the trees. They get the first blood for their carry. Very happy about that if you're Liquid. And they do lose 3 runes. A little sad about that if you're Liquid, especially when there's an Alchemist on board.
Now this lane, last time around we had the situation where we were talking about how the off lane of Liquid was pretty passive. Now in their draft, they opted for a killing duo. I was not thrilled to see Techies because frankly, I think this hero got nerfed too much that I don't think it's as strong a laner. Holy cow, Insania just beat down Tofu. But they are already using that blast off with the facet to good extent here. Dyrachyo is going to suicide kill. Nicely done, holding on to the unstable concoction, and they get the kill on Boxy in return.
That was very close and a big deny to get. Still Liquid coming out swinging in this game too, and that is a good sign to see. This team needs some confidence boost going into this game. Need to just go out there and play for the win, not try and avoid the loss. So it's good to see them striking back here early, gain some confidence early on in this game, and get to actually play the game, because they did not get to do much of that in game 1. Going back for some similar things here with the Monkey King, but a support duo that should be stronger in the early game. I think that's the upside of the Techies here.
Now the blast off. Again, this facet allowing extra damage combined with a Brewmaster who is already one of the stronger laners when it comes to kills thanks to this combination of burn and clap.
Now, Liquid supports. This was one of my big factors. You've got to get stuff done in the early game if you're Liquid supports. And I feel like they've already gotten more done here than in maybe some of these previous games combined.
Yeah, absolutely. And Insania is making really good work of this timing where there is no level 2 on Tofu. Therefore, there's no Tornado. Therefore, there's no Dispel to his Spirit and his extra damage. So he just keeps on taking it to Gamin Gladiators in this window where he has the advantage before Tofu comes in with the counter.
And Nisha's doing fine mid. Not as low as I would have thought. Still has a bottle charge, picks up a water rune. He's cruising here, going even on the CS board early. Good sign for him. If it gets hard later, he can always go back to the stacks. And if you're Liquid, if you're winning the 2 side lanes, you almost don't care what happens mid because he's a Sand King. I mean, whatever. Just going to be a playmaker. Dyrachyo getting aggressive, trying to strike back.
He is going to get this kill, looks like, as he... Oh, it's not quite fast enough.
Didn't get the courier either. Boxy continuing the outplays. And double bracer already up for 33 means his rotation potential is there. You can leave this brew alone to a decent degree. Maybe look for the turnaround kill mid on the Shadow Fiend, gank bottom. Really want this Techies to accelerate this game. That could be the strength of this pick here for Liquid, even if the hero's maybe not the strongest in the meta.
Nisha, Burrow strike away. Quinn's going to chase after him, though.
So slow.
And the build-up movement speed slow is so obnoxious. Meanwhile, the aggression from 33 and Boxy pays out yet another kill, this time Celery.
And they are just demolishing this Chen Alk lane. Not a lane that Gamin, I think, are used to losing. At least these Alk combinations usually go well for them. Especially with all the extra gold Dyrachyo had. He started this game with so much extra gold from the bounty runes plus seed money. Not able to translate it into a lane win here, and Ace in trouble.
Oh, the tornado just in time. Well played by Tofu. Well positioned to hit both heroes. Otherwise, Ace surely would have died there.
Yeah, that would have been such a big kill for Insania. Went for this boots investment, has been dominating the lane. That would have been the big payoff experience-wise. But good news is you burn out that mana from Tofu, and now you can just go back in swinging.
Yeah, it doesn't really make that much of a difference if Ace lives, but he's on no HP, therefore he can't challenge any CS whatsoever. And Insania almost gets the kill on Tofu. Once again, the tornado intercepts, but you're left in the same situation.
Yeah, they're struggling down here. Both side lanes for Gamin.
Bomb land, Celery. Soon to blow up. They're going to try and get the counter kill on Boxy with the acid spray. Unstable concoction. That is enough.
I almost wish you had an urn on this Brewmaster.
Oh, Nisha, another raise, long range, and the raindrop is not enough. The buildup of damage. This matchup is just too rough.
Yeah, turned up the heat. The early portions of that lane were going okay. It just escalated very quick, and now Quinn has a 2-level advantage on this Sand King mid. Already level 6.
Tofu, tornado after tornado, right before the final hit can come in. And Ace is getting some decent damage on Mickey on the way back, but of course, Insania makes it much worse for Ace to keep trading.
These tornadoes have been clutch, but they're just damage control down here. Still a much better laning phase overall for Liquid. All three of their cores finding something, and the supports being a lot more active. In fact, Boxy smoked mid. Looking for a low Shadow Fiend or maybe just blocking some camps. Could get the connection with the Sand King.
They might be able to sandwich him here. Quinn. Oh no, what's happening? They had an opportunity. Burrow Strike, Sandstorm, Blast Off. Like, surely all of that combined would be close.
They just missed him.
Ooh.
Unfortunate. To be honest, I don't know if Quinn actually dies. He has Fairy Fire, Raindrop Wand, and he already has Requiem.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a close call if maybe he gets off the Requiem.
They're going to try again.
Them both. Okay, they bring in Insania. They're like, we need more. We need 4 heroes to make sure that Quinn dies here, and he still gets off the Requiem. The deck Requiem goes out. It's not enough to kill Nisha.
Sub 100 HP on multiple heroes.
Jeez.
But Liquid walk it off. They get that big SF kill.
And they're securing the 6-minute power rune as well. So if it's something really good, like a regen, Nisha would be able to just stay in lane.
And I mean, there are clearly some adjustments Liquid have made going into this game, which is good to see. Like the fact that 33 rotated here early, kind of picking up on that game one. Hey, these guys are going to bring numbers to plays. We just have to overcompensate and make sure the ones that we're committing to work, especially these big core-oriented ganks. I like that. Just bring the Brewmaster mid. It's not going to cost 33 too much here. You can just run back to top. It's not like you're solo pressuring the Alk anyway. Make sure some of these plays work so you can build some steam here on your supports.
That was sort of the MO at one point in time when Gamin Gladiators was the most dominant team of the 2023 regular season. They kept on bringing both supports into the mid lane all the time to help out Quinn. And at some point in time, it developed where it was like, okay, both teams bring both supports. And then all of a sudden, maybe a core is joining in. And then we got to some craziness where there were 5 people mid at 7-8 minutes.
I mean, it is the Quinn effect. You have a player that's going to try and dominate mid and perhaps do it with some of these cheese picks. It automatically creates a power imbalance. Whenever you have a power imbalance on the map in Dota 2, it kind of sucks everybody towards it. One team's looking to exploit it, the other's looking to defend against it. So a lot of time for Gamin is around this mid lane, which is why they like these independent side laners. Heroes like Alk and Brood, who when you get left alone and you ignore them for 2 minutes, suddenly they're level 6, suddenly they're just flash farming jungle, become big problems here. So if you're Liquid, you really have to make sure those mid ganks work, because it's like that game 1. You get sucked into these skirmishes that are unfavorable against a ranged mid hero who's just outpacing you, and you're in trouble. We'll contest the
bomb, miss the stomp, miss the blast off.
This is a good opportunity to learn.
Not Liquid's finest hour,
but they did learn. They've got that going for them.
What do you think they learned there?
They're learning a lot. I think they've been learning a lot recently against Gamin.
Mickey, meanwhile, going to receive a similar gank here, but this time it's paired up with 2 cores as Quinn made his way across the map. Not that he was needed for the kill, but he is helpful when it comes to tower pressure, because Liquid's already taken the top tower, so Gamin Gladiators want to be able to mirror that.
So open up the tower for Ace. Ice Armor online for Celery. Going to buff everybody up here. And good news for Liquid is at least you're able to trade out that top tower on the Brew. 33 having a pretty good game here on one of his better heroes in the Brewmaster. That's why they first picked it. I think Liquid felt like a lot of these offlaners were getting banned out towards the end of the draft and just wanted to secure one they felt very confident with early. Can't blame them there.
Quinn gets a regen room. Big pickup.
You have some levels between the Sand King and Brewmaster if you can combine them here. You'd particularly love to bring down the Shadow Fiend one or two more times in this early game. He's very susceptible to the numbers right now. I don't think Gamin would actually mind farming up a bit here. All three of their cores love the flash from the jungle right now.
And Celery is taking over more real estate in your jungle. So it's not just the cores that are going to be farming, but also Celery himself is going to try and take some camps away from you. Nice use of the Hurricane to make sure his hero is outside of Burrow Strike range. Nisha's still looking for something with his phase boots, but does not have the superior movement speed against an Invoker or Broodmother.
Failed move for Liquid. Buying time for Gamin's cores as Dyrachyo gets top lane in. Quinn finishes up some Ancients. These heroes are finding the levels. Now, downside for Gamin right now is you're missing a lot of levels on this support Invoker. Tofu kind of just doesn't exist right now. Another reason I feel if you're Liquid, you really want to ramp up the pressure or fight around this tier 1 mid, get something going. You just have such a good spell advantage right now, and these cores on Gamin don't want to have to go to fights.
It's going to be hard kill, but he doesn't have chemical range. And it's possible if they hit the blast off the right time. Never mind, the Brewmaster is here, Tornado comes in, but they've already got the burn damage on. Cloud's going to be used, and they're going to use the Primal Split just to make sure that Dyrachyo is dead and maybe look for a little bit more. Meanwhile, Nisha holding their jungle with the Sandstorm as Celery continues to be an obnoxious presence around this area.
He's finding some decent farm on this Chen. Almost level 6 as well. Still haven't seen a Brewmaster ult or Epicenter be put to use around this mid tower, which I think is the biggest place you'd want to get them done. That kill you'll definitely take for the Brew ult. But now you're going to have to wait a little bit if you want to make this move.
Last time the Rune was bottom, and they're both going to bank on it being bottom. It's top amp damage, and that'll be secured for Nisha, it looks like.
Nice little Rune pickup for him. I mean, better to take it away from the Shadow Fiend here for sure.
Yeah.
Game slows down a little bit. I mean, Liquid stabilized. So the big question coming into this game, you do not want to go down 0-2 in this series, especially 2 games where you just get decimated by 20 minutes. It's very important to stabilize this early game. And the supports have done their job here. So Liquid will go back for some stacks, try and get this blink on the Sand King, give them the initiation power.
I like
really
that
sets up the supports.
joining in on this, because he needs the experience to be able to get to his level 6, but it does leave nobody up here with 33 who gets ganked by the Tofu Quinn duo.
And collect his soul, +1 on the board.
And he's going to go straight for Yasha Kaya. What do you make of these different SF builds? We've seen some that just flat out just do not go Yasha Kaya. Do you think it's necessary to always have that item? Ace, Boxy didn't have the right position for the blast off. Now that he's out here, though, they can still probably catch up to him with the Boundless Strike, really helping things out. Leads to the Burrow Strike. They've got him. Oh, what? How did that happen? 1 troll versus 4 heroes, and somehow he nabs the last hit.
That's not for the likes of you.
That is unbelievably bad luck.
Small hill troll attack for 9 physical.
Was it actually the small hill troll?
I think so. No, it was the big one.
Oh, okay.
But it needed the small one as well. Well, I mean, sometimes you're just cursed, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, we have the line of Destiny and Fate and Gamin Gladiators and Liquid. Liquid would call this a curse.
That felt very cursed right there. Absolutely. As that was a big kill to snag, and it gets denied from you. Just feels bad here. Good news is Ace's game is way slower than last time. So you're still doing your job at shutting down this Brood, which, I mean, that Brood went absolutely rampant in that game one. Of course, it was from a different position, but, you know, Gamin are going to try and do similar things with it. That was a swing around move to try and kind of backstab this jungle area that was unsuccessful. Slows down Ace's game, slows down those auras, gives you more time to operate here. You're Liquid. Get that team fight together.
Dyrachyo staying ahead of the gank from Liquid. Still working towards his Radiance.
These 2 carries are farmed for Gamin. That they have for sure, but they're still susceptible. You can find connections with this Sand King blink. It is online for Nisha. He has Shield Rune as well. So it'd be a really good time to smoke it up on the side of Liquid. Blink in, The Blink Burrow Strike pretty much sets up your Stomp Earth Splitter. It sets up your Techie spells. It's a guaranteed kill on almost anybody.
Going for it. Oh, Hurricane pushes him farther away outside of all of it. No Burrow Strike, no epicenter damage. Celery just baited out a play. Liquid didn't have the smoke ready to go. Boxy bought one up. They obviously wanted to make a move with this, but Celery, through pressure on the mid lane, got Liquid to make a mistake.
I mean, Celery honestly has been owning this game with this Hurricane, just playing up in Liquid's face, scouting areas, forcing responses, and always getting out, which is a tough line to walk with this Chen. When you're fairly slow and you have some greedy cores who need time to farm, you're not pushing Liquid down here. You're trying to scale a bit more. Bit of a different play style from Gamin, despite it having a similar feel in the draft. Radiance will be done here for Dyrachyo. Still at a very decent timing. But I don't think you really want to just run in the fight without a BKB. Or at least maybe the aura up on the Broodmother. You're looking for Pipe here. First for Ace, as Pipe first for 33 will be there as well. Though it does feel like the Pipe for Gamin is a bit more valuable. Liquid seem a lot more reliant on magic damage. It's also a very strong item versus the ET Aura.
There's
and
also
the Sand King.
Dispel from the Invoker, right? So
Cannot Dispel Pipe.
that's true.
Plus they have
Why not?
Dispel from Brewmaster as well, so it's even here in terms of Dispel power. I just think Gamin are not as reliant on the magical damage this game. Like SF, Alk, Broodmother, kind of mostly physical cores, to be honest. Like, they have some spell power early, but they kind of just want to get into the fight and start right-clicking you down with, like, a drum buff up and some extra attack speed. Brood Shard later on. Yeah, you can start off with ores on this Brood, but we've seen Ace do hybrid builds on this hero before. Will still make the 5-man very strong here for Liquid, and I think it is an absolute fine item choice here for 33. Just want to get something done with it early. Maybe threaten Roshan. That's another big question mark here for Liquid. We talked about some of the Roche killers they've used over the course of the tournament. The two biggest ones for them, I think, have been the Beastmaster and the Templar Assassin. They don't really have a good hero to take down early Roshan, which might be giving Gamin some breathing room here in terms of, all right, we're not going to be too pressured to force a contest here anytime soon.
Yeah.
Which leaves a big question mark right now. Gamin, you're actually getting to play Dota here, or Liquid are getting to play Dota.
For now, Gamin Gladiators are still going to hit some window at like 25 minutes and try and mow you down.
Right, so that's the question. What do you do in this next 5-minute period if you're Liquid to try and slow down that pace or ramp up your own tempo? I don't think Roche is fast enough, and the tier 1's already dead, so you kind of have a smoke to the triangle, a smoke to try and find the Alchemist.
You're running Taze. Good pickup if they can get it. Who's going to make the jump? Nisha does not fish for it.
That
Does he could have had an opportunity to blink up to the high ground there and get vision for his team. Doesn't do any of that.
maybe he felt like the terrain was an awkward position, but I think you have to kind of just go on these plays. Like, you're making them because you feel like you're stronger, and if you're going to group 4 team fighters or something like that, I mean, just blink blind and see what you find.
Maybe giving Gamin Gladiators too much credit that they're set up there. Doesn't want to stumble into an ambush.
Yeah, but I mean, look at their lineup.
Yeah, yeah.
Alchemist, Shadow Fiend are not ambushing you. Like, these guys are just farming the whole map right now, and they're getting away with it. This game is almost some psychological warfare, it's starting to feel like. Like, Liquid keep expecting Gamin to group up and push them, and it's not coming. They did it to them in 20 series in a row. Now all of a sudden, they're just farming.
20-minute death push is coming.
I
We're
think they're
about to lose
confused.
the game.
Like, guys, it's 17 minutes. Our base isn't getting sieged. Like, what's happening?
Gamin Gladiators, their lineup requires a different kind of timing. And we'll see if they're as proficient at hitting this one as they were with so many other teams with their 20-minute death ball push that they kept on reaching. 33 holds the mid tower, but the Broodmother and that free push across will just head up to the top tower instead. Take over that triangle.
Part of me wonders if this game has almost been annoying for Liquid in the sense of they built this lineup to fight them early and often and take the 5-man fights and defend the towers, and like it just hasn't been there.
Boxy?
Is another poke that gets reactions out of Liquid and isn't actually a move, or is it?
Nisha jumps forward, only hits the Burrow Strike on one. So how Tofu does not get landed by that one, and the EMP pulls him out.
What a stomp.
Nice stomp, though. That's going to sit up Mickey for the Wukong's command with the blast off on top of that one. Now the Gamin Gladiators core. Oh, there it is, the jump in from the Requiem to try and blow up the Sand King as well as the +1. They got him, and Mickey is fighting for his life against a horde of spiders and won't be able to do much there. Primal split plus a stomp. And Sania is going to make a run for it, but Duraccio and Ace will hunt him down. They all in on the supports, but it's the cores of Gamin Gladiators who have come online and are ready to fight, and they're going to team wipe Liquid if they can find 33 here. They've got the vision for the stun. No, they don't. No, they don't. Okay, well, he's still stuck in a corner here. He's going to make it cost Gamin Gladiators as much time as possible. But surely
Could deny himself to Roche.
Gonna try.
Big clap.
The clap goes out, and it's not.
And now you're in Roche.
And now they're in Roshan.
Oh,
Like, okay.
Should have ran the other way, maybe.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was
This
like,
is not what you wanted.
Run away from Roshan at this point.
This is not a good ending to the fight for Liquid, as they're going to lose Roche after all of this. I mean, it's a beautiful stomp. You have to take that there. But you end up committing a lot, and Quinn just has no fear. No stuns left. Goes in, massive Requiem. Takes out Nisha, and the other two cores are playing outside that Wukong. Really nice positioning here from Gamin's
Oh, the Hand of God saves him. Nisha, though, slips in from behind, and a stinger to the backside will finish him off.
I mean, that's just brutal that that fight happens in that way, where Gamin are literally in the pit at the end. With all three cores who are pretty good at doing Roshan with the minus armor from the Alchemist.
Yep.
Now you're suddenly down 10k. Off of what looked like a good setup. By the way, this Alk, he went the Manta before the BKB. So Duraccio ends up winning that fight without needing BKB. And now this Manta is going to pay off because he can just push out lanes a bit better, farm up faster, get into the BKB even sooner here.
Mickey needing the BKB next. We saw that with the Requiem Fear, he was pushed out of his ultimate last time.
Not a fun interaction for him. Neither is this incapacitating bite. The Frost Armor is once again up for the Chen. Another very obnoxious spell for the Monkey King. The whole time you're getting some of your armor reduced. If you're not in the Wukong, you just get bursted from Acid Spray plus Presence.
Looks like they're going to stick around on this side of the map. Try and take Wisdom Rune on both sides. Liquid are very clearly set up.
There's a lot of vision here. Sentry Ops trap for the Invoker. Should grab him.
Lightyear into blast off into Double Mine. Explosion will do the kill. Surprised we dropped the Wukong's command there. They got a reaction out of Gamin Gladiators, so they'll call quits on trying to steal the Wisdom Rune. Just say that the kill on Ancients and an Invoker is good enough.
So we see Drum Vlad's out of the Chen. Greaves done on the Brood. Gamin have 4 big auras, which are all really nice for their big right clickers here. Liquid are trying to match it. Drum on the Elder Titan with Pipe on the Brew. And Shiva's being built by the Sand King. Actually, they have double Drum on the side of Liquid.
Got him on the Gleipnir. Quick Dispel, but they have the follow-up with the Stomp, the Blast Off, the Burrow Strike. There's no lacking in stuns for Liquid, that's for sure.
Those types of kills are very efficient for their lineup. They would love a lot more of them in this game.
It's kind of the idea of that whole like 10 to 15 minute window, right? Where they were struggling to find kills.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at these networks, this has arguably been the best position Liquid's been in versus game in this entire event.
Yeah, they're down by 7K. It's an Alchemist lineup, so...
I mean, down 7K in this, you may as well be pushing Gamin's base.
Shiva's complete for Nisha. And
they can taste victory right now. Guys, we have tier 2s up.
Gamin Gladiators, by the way, have, I believe, 10 wins in under 35 minutes at this event.
I think Liquid are probably close to that too, though, to be fair.
Yeah, Quinn gets the timing perfectly, man. Well set up. Tornado from Tofu. You don't need Blink Yules for this SF.
That was just crisp. Absolutely beautiful combination here. Even at Illusion Room. Just doesn't even get anything off here.
And there's some variable timings there too. Like
yeah, that's not
got the Kaya Yasha Kaya, and the tornado lift is only for various amounts of time depending on levels. Mickey,
pure feel.
He's got to use his ults for fear of what else is coming, and it's Quinn who tries to back up Tofu's play there. But Liquid have the backup for Mickey. Mickey's already killed Tofu, so Gamin Gladiators get on out.
Still have this Aegis for a minute. You got the BKB on the Shadow Fiend, Wukong down. Gamin don't really have interest in pushing. Maybe don't want to give this big fight to a lot of the AoE control that Liquid have. Like when you push into them, you do have to be careful. There's Stomp, Earth Splitter, Sandstorm, Epicenter, Brewmaster, Ulti Haze, Grease Pipe. Liquid have definitely built themselves up to combat what Gamin are trying to do against them. And it is working a little bit here. They're a lot more confident to take these fights, go look for plays.
They have this ward in the corner. It is very well set up for them to go for another kill. Not just on Ace, but maybe Celery as well, as they're going to find that Burrow Strike. Lead open on the Broodmother. The blast off follow-up. Trying to get a Hurricane away, but he's still stomped. A mine goes off. Gleitner catches them, bound the Strike. They're stretching out, trying to get this kill, and they do manage to get it this time around, but Mickey is committed in so deep. One raise, two raise, pops a BKB. Can he get the lifesteals off? Lifesteal is not going to be good enough as a pure damage Sunstrike cuts through that. Now 33 on the run. Has a Primal Split. Are they going to try and turn this around? Is he going to have to use a Primal Split just to be able to escape here? Gamin Gladiators are going to force it out of him. And he'll use the split.
They can chase him here.
They've got the Fire Panda. Okay, push up, go through the gate on all of the pandas. The Earth One managed to make it through. How far can he make it? 5 more seconds.
What a next level play. He forced his own Earth Panda up the hill.
And he's spotted. Oh, after all that, I mean, it was a sick move. He'll buy more time, but a blink from Quinn puts him right on 33 as he went for the TP. And they'll finally catch him.
That was kind of a sick escape, though. Honestly, I thought he had almost no way out of there. 33 showing off some sick micro here, but it is all for naught as Gamin eventually find their prey. And this team fight struggles for Liquid continue. Just can't find their footing in these full-on exchanges in terms of winning that long fight.
I mean, how many times have we seen Liquid just all in for a kill that they can't quite get easily? I mean, they got Ace in the end, but it committed Mickey to death.
Very hard for Mickey to stand there and just deliver when he's up against Radiance, incapacitating bite. The second his BKB is out, he's just food. If you haven't won the fight by that point, this Monkey King just needs more scale right now.
He's trying to get it through an Aghanim Scepter. Almost gets caught, slipping back into his base off of a very deep ward placed by Tofu.
Now, the Broodlings are also just being microed out the scout here from Ace. Lets these advanced parties feel a bit more secure, and, well, they do not need Aegis to hit these buildings, confident in their BKBs.
You can see off their ward positioning. One behind the tier 2 bottom, another one leaning around that tier 2 mid. They are trying to lock Liquid in right now.
You need to start to build the damage here if you're Liquid to defend these towers. Quick pick-off attempt.
A little pick-off here from Durancio with his Blink Dagger reveal.
Pretty tanky, man. There's no help.
Yeah, nobody can punish the Alchemist diving tier 2s, I think.
Celery's just going to make sure this bottom lane stays in, which is going to allow Gamin to rotate across the map here, set up on something else. Easy pickings here with the Ghost Walk.
We have any detection here? Boxy's just sitting under a Ghost Walk. He knows it. And there is Nisha nearby, but on the other side, Quinn.
Man, dropped the Requiem on him.
Yeah, assuming that I guess there were more heroes around, which he wasn't wrong. Nisha was in the neighborhood. And Celery continues to live on your side of the map. His Chen Enchantress. It's just his MO.
I mean, look at the Dire Wards right now compared to Radiant.
Yeah.
Like, the value's not even close. Gamin see almost everything they want to right now, whereas Liquid, they have one Radiant Ward on this bottom lane, and they can't really get back to it here. Just taken over the map here in the last 3 minutes.
Team fight item picked up. Nisha gets the BKB. Will Liquid try and use that timing? Do they have a smoke to be able to take advantage of it?
I think you have to if you're Liquid. You can't just keep waiting in this game for them to go into you and find that crazy turnaround. Got to use the Sand King offensively. You do pick up a basher for Monkey King at the same time, so you're synchronizing some fighting power here. If you can get some clutch bashes on this Monkey King, could make all the difference.
You get real lucky. You stop SF, Requiem from going off.
But this is the problem. That warding difference. You just see so little right now. It's very hard to judge where you should smoke if you're Liquid.
Yeah.
And of course, Gamin, they see so far in a lot of these lanes. It's like, okay, well, no one's farming mid, no one's farming top. I mean, they're probably making a move, guys. And they just clump.
That Crimson Guard is going to block so much of the damage of the Monkey King now.
Now, it's a very strong item here. Crimson and Greaves to back up this Alk and SF, who are already creating an armor differential here with the Presence / Acid Spray.
Between the wards and the spiders. So much vision from Gamin Gladiators and Liquid. Probably right not to push into that jungle area. Gamin Gladiators going to push back into you, though. Nisha.
Left him behind.
He's going to break the smoke. He gets orchided. Now, he has a shield rune. He's very tanky, but he's tanky enough to deal with a Requiem?
He is
An
not
Ag's
tanky.
Requiem at that? Not at all.
No BKB Sand King. This fight is already on the back foot for Liquid.
And Duracio's going to force it. Mickey's forced to use his Wukong's command and hope that the Gleipnir can lock him in long enough. It is not. Now, can he find any room to hop away? Orchided,
better
Force
get
Staff
out.
up to the high ground. The silence is wearing out. Good stomp from Insania. The Force Staffs might have just bailed them out here, but not everybody. Insania. Duracio's just done a really great job of, like, these fights. They know they're won, and Duracio always finds an extra hero. Going back for it. Chemical Rage. Oh, Duracio pushed too far this time around. Just daring into the tier 2s like that, but they can't quite
nailed
get the
him
kill.
out.
The Force Staff comes out. Again, Liquid baited into an idea that they can have the damage, but they just do not. And Gamin Gladiators, just
Quinn.
like that, have wiped you, maybe. 33, making a run. Oh, there's going to be another Unstable Concoction, another Orchid, another round of spells, and that's a team wipe. Gamin Gladiators, do you think anything else was going to happen in 30 minutes?
I mean, they were looking for a Duracha throw, but there is no such thing in this series. Absolutely nothing has been free for Liquid. Overcommittal on an Alchemist that seemed out of position. Nah, we have the ability to bail him out here, say Gamin. And once more, it's a fight lost on the wrong part of the map for Liquid.
Bloodthorn, lots of damage. Nisha, BKB has to be used.
I mean, what?
Now you
That's your
have
9 second.
nothing to defend the base. With 20 seconds left on the Monkey King, that is a full lane. Call it 30 minutes if you want. Gamin Gladiators. They do it again, man.
They're just unstoppable. When this team is in form, you cannot make mistakes. You just cannot slip up on the map. You can't give them breathing room because they take so much away from you.
They demand perfection out of their opponents, or else they will end the game early. They've done it not just to Liquid. They've done it to so many other teams. They did it to Falcons, that game 2 and 3, both 30-minute victories. They've proven they can do this to anyone.
It's a nice setup from Liquid. Maybe not expected, but
Spiders giving them a little bit of vision.
scouted.
Chivas goes out, Burrow Strike, leading on to Ace. Blasts off, following it up, but they're separating targets here as Mickey jumps in. What is he going to do with this one? Pops his BKB and starts backing away. And backing
Fight's
away,
too chaotic.
retreat is death for Liquid. Death for at least one. Boxy's the first one down. Wukong's man goes out,
Does
and I
nothing.
assume we're hopping away from this one. Liquid trying to retreat, but got him on the Bloodthorn in Unstable Concoction. Drop the Requiem, though. Wait, gets tossed up in the air by the Storm Panda. Mickey will eventually get burned out, though, and now back on solid ground. Quint drops that Requiem for the final touch in this team fight. Liquid. Stomp from Insania, but he'll be run down eventually by something. He tries to go for the neutral creep deny. It'll be 3 dead on the side of Liquid at the end of it.
They just cannot sync the control up with the damage. There's nothing to drop a Wukong on here. Gamin are able to kite it out. There's no threat to the BKBs early, so they can just hold on to them. Didn't even need a Requiem really to win that exchange.
And a second time, the Gamin Gladiators may win the game off of one Aegis because they're not going back for the second.
I mean, why waste time killing Roche when you can not waste time ending the game? This push has come together at the 30-minute mark. Maybe a little slower of a death ball, but it got there in the end. And now you're just lacking the damage. Monkey King did not find the momentum he was looking for in this game. You did not find it at game 1 either. And this was supposed to be one of your better tools against Gamin. Supposed to be one of the faster carries who could fight early, make rotations, and match that speed. It's been a struggle.
2 lanes of barracks down. Gamin Gladiators will now back up to take Roshan. And Abyssal Blade next for Duraccio. We've got so many items on Gamin Gladiators with a 30,000 net worth lead.
I just don't know how you control these heroes. Double 4 staffs up on the supports. Boots of Bearing for Celery as well. There's so much disengage. Like, you have to find the chain stun here under an ET Spear.
And that is your Liquid's desperate to try and contest Roshan here. Gamin Gladiators isn't doing it. They're setting up for the team fight, and they found that opportunity. They burned the mana out of the Brewmaster. That is trouble. Still has 10 seconds left until he has split anyway, but he doesn't have mana right now.
Has to use the Greaves here just to get it back.
And look at the illusions. It's just getting full read of everything Liquid's doing right now and burning away on him.
I mean, you have an amp damage rune for Mickey. It's wearing out. You got 10 seconds left. You couldn't take the fight with this. Doesn't get better for you now.
He just cannot find the initiation. They're read every step of the way by Ace, who spreads his spiders all over.
And by the way, Gamin, they do not have to force anything here because that top wave is hitting tier 4s. Liquid are the ones under pressure to make the move.
The roar goes off. Tofu blocking, sits up on the high ground. Liquid running into him, but they sweep around the side here. Mickey's going to try and go up the corner to get a good Wukong's command inside of the Roshan pit. Gamin Gladiators concede that ground, though.
Okay, on the backside.
They're going to look for Mickey. Doesn't show himself. Duraccio stunning himself. Chemical Rage.
Again, pressure's on Liquid
Lockdown
to start the fight, though.
He's going to start on Mickey. See if he can get out that BKB. Mickey's going to hold on to it. Epicenter's going to be used right as Duraccio comes into it. But Duraccio is very tanky. He shrugs off the damage rather easily. The Wukong's command goes out, but look at it, already outside of it. No real damage whatsoever from that Wukong's command. And if you don't have the Wukong's command, where is the damage going to come from if you're Liquid?
I did just have to get out. No Wukong, no Earth Splitter, no Epicenter. And you traded it all for some BKBs and a tier 4 damage.
It's full concession from Liquid. You can have the Roshan, Gamin Gladiators.
And you just cheese. By the way, there's already a refresher up on this Shadow Fiend, so you got to deal with double Ag's Requiem here with the bonus souls. And
we have so many
decent amount of them. Yeah, I was going to mention
33.
This SF Requiem is hitting incredibly hard right now. I mean, hey, 33 souls he collected from 33 here. Everything fitting in a cursed world for Liquid right now. They cannot escape their fate, it would seem.
No, they can't. 33 is hoping that 4 Radiances will change the game for him somehow. Meanwhile, Ace finds more auras to buy. Bought the first Crimson Guard of Broodmother. Now gets an AC, so if the damage block wasn't enough, there you've got some extra armor. So, again, they can't seem to keep the heroes inside of the Wukong's command, but even if they did, much of the damage would be shrugged off by the many auras of Gamin Gladiators.
By the way, that's a amp damage rune on the Shadow Fiend, so
okay,
have fun with that one.
We're gonna watch a hero disappear here. Oh wait, no, a little off the mark there.
It's okay, he's got a second one.
That's true. Maybe they don't know. Well, I've got a refresher, guys.
Alacrity Catapult is
maybe out the tornado.
No.
Quinn's not going to go for it. And gets burned out. 33. Now they go for it, but a boundless strike hit him with the burrow strike. Blast off. So many stuns. Can they do this? Earth Splitter cuts down the SF. Now for Duraccio. Duraccio with his BKB walking back. Gets bashed up. They want Quinn, but Quinn already got out with the Ogre Seal Totem and a BKB. He's out of the Wukong's command. And Liquid. Do they dare to pursue?
It's
with
so
the front,
scary to chase.
Trying to.
There's still a Requiem up.
Duraccio comes back in, 4-staff up to the high ground. Nice play by Boxy. Gets the initiation out of Duraccio without dying.
I thought Quinn was going to go back in there. Gamin are respecting the team fight of Liquid here. Maybe just don't want to play the fight without the BKB on the Shadow Fiend to guarantee that Requiem pop. Very fast stuns from Liquid salvage that fight, but Dyrachyo, this man does not care.
Nope, you used a bunch of spells, and you couldn't kill Dyrachyo the first time around. He doesn't think you have it in you to be able to do a second go without Wukong's man, down epicenter, and he may be right about this one. As he starts chipping away at the melee barracks, the only thing remaining between Liquid and Mega Creeps.
Have to defend this Rax. You have to be careful about when you go in with the stuns. If you go in with Boundless / Burrow, it opens up opportunity for that Requiem to come out. Liquid on a knife's edge, trying to make something magical happen here.
Tofu just being a nuisance. Will chip away a little bit more at that melee barracks.
I mean, if they want to slow siege this, they can.
They absolutely can, yeah.
Just do it with every alcohol. Every time he gets stunned, force staff him out. You will eventually get Megas here, so Liquid are going to have to do something offensive.
Dyrachyo could also just full in commit with his BKB.
Also possible, yeah. And it looks like he's going to go for it.
They have a glyph. Liquid hit the stomp. The glyph not going to be used. Liquid are just saying have Megas. We're in it for the long haul, and they have made it to 39 minutes.
I guess that's the long haul.
Yeah, I guess, you know, just try and stretch this game out to 60 and turn it around.
Even checking for the little uphill wards here with Sunstrike. Everything on point.
But of course, Gamin Gladiators, not one to stretch things out. They got Megas. They can chill if they wanted to, but they won't.
I don't think Dyrachyo knows what the word chill means.
No, certainly not.
This man is trying to speedrun another grand final here.
On to another objective. Tier 4s.
BKBs are back up. They could look for aggressive jumps. Only person out on the map right now is Mickey on this monkey, desperately trying to find some neutral tokens and some more gold.
Yeah, you got tier 4s to get. Those are big upgrades.
The Alacrity Forge Spirits continue to whittle down these towers.
Mickey
and Dyrachyo
is...
lost his courier, actually.
Aghanim's on the Elder Titan, but there's also a Divine Rapier about to be purchased by Mickey. If his team could just hold on for like a minute or two, but it's coming fast, man. Dyrachyo has already chopped out one of these tier 4s, and the second one is falling fast. 33, he's trying to draw some attention. You're going to have to pop that Primal Split. A Stomp, Insania starts punching him. There goes the ult. Requiem not really doing too much, but clearing out some Brew Links. And Epicenter that also doesn't do too much as Nisha fails the initiation.
They're going to wait out these ults. Maybe recognize Divine Rapier on this Monkey King.
Yeah, he's surely spotted now.
Still a refresher on this Shadow Fiend. If you chase on the side of Liquid, you have to keep it in mind.
He's got the level 20 talent as well, the Boundless Strike critical damage. So with this Divine Rapier, it is significant upgrade in damage. But can one spell change the fate of Liquid?
Especially if Gamin just decide to wait for another Roshan here.
Yeah.
They are not exactly under too much pressure to end this game. Maybe just Dyrachyo telling them I want to, but they can play it safe, get some tier 4 neutral tokens of their own.
Yeah, get level 25 on Alchemist with overwhelming blink.
I mean, this is just your human sentry here as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, Liquid can never make a move through this Ghost Walk Invoker.
If it's not Celery in the early game, it's Tofu in the late game. One of these Gamin Gladiators supports is always getting information off you.
And it's like the old school patrol key, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the Tormentor.
I'm not sure if there's an Aghanim shard in the game that will help Liquid enough, but it's the same case. A little bit of extra Epicenter Pulse with his 20 talent as well. Mickey is going to try and pick up his shard, so then he can use that Boundless Strike to close the gap on... I don't know, what, you going for SF? Is that the best target?
I mean, that's the best one for sure if you can snag him. He's got all these bonus souls and everything. It's very difficult to get on top of the Shadow Fiend.
Good time to get a little recap of what Gamin Gladiators have been up to since the last 5 minutes. And it's been living inside a liquid space. That's what they've been up to.
Very little openings.
It does look like a patrol.
I'll tell you, just hit the patrol key, go back and forth on the ramp. Well, you did get to your auras on the Brewmaster. I mean,
Yeah, apparently he's abandoned the Radiance.
auras are broken, right?
Yeah, well, you know, when you're one aura item behind at all times. Gamin Gladiators, aura maxing to the core. Get that lead. It's 2 or 3K. They get that first aura item. They use that to get a bigger lead. They get another aura item, and it extends and extends. And there is no shortage of aura items to buy.
No shortage of camps to farm. Getting level 25s now between the SF and the Alchemist. Some nice late game talents here.
All right, so we got the insta-cast Requiem now.
Yep.
If he uses Feast of Souls.
And the movement speed here means you sell the boots, just fully 6-slot yourself, Nullifier and Strength Link now up for this Alchemist, so there's very little you can do to save the targets he jumps. He wants to commit in. And Roche is back. Will be instantly scouted by a Broodling.
The hard
Ace
part
has
is,
been
I feel like nowadays
point.
teams are so disciplined that nobody just, nobody gets caught inside the Roshan pit anymore. Maybe it's a difference in where the pit is, you know, being in the corner as opposed to the older days of being closer to the middle of the map, but just feels like the winning team is pretty much guaranteed to be either taking Roshan or they take a fight outside of the Roshan pit, where they're sitting in some trees or some high ground. The enemy team has to walk into them.
very difficult to go up the ramp unless you can get vision there. Very hard to get vision there unless you have someone who's an insane frontliner. Most of the times, if you're behind in the current meta, you don't have those things. So this will be Aegis on the Shadow Fiend.
Wait, Ace is going to get a BKB?
Yeah, he went
Where's
Chivas
that
and
sixth
AC.
aura?
I mean, what is the Exodia of auras? He's missing
know.
something. I don't know. Chen already bought all the other ones.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Wraith Pact is the missing one. Tier 4 down, throne exposed. Gamin Gladiators have every advantage you could possibly hope for to close out this game. They're going to lead off. Trying to get it. No, oh, still got the Requiem thanks to the BKB, despite that quick jump in from Nisha. A Burrow Strike hit at the same time as Quinn went in, but Quinn went in safely with a BKB. They got one buyback out of Liquid. And many more ults to go.
Do lose the banner. Massive blow here for the push.
True, true.
Very disciplined exchange from Gamin. Take a 5 buyback and reset with 40k net worth lead.
Mickey is going to have Abyssal Blade, so if he can get the jump on somebody with this Divine Rapier, maybe he can pop them. Forstaff trying to get him out of the way, but 33 just Nullifier can't let him get away. No buy. It's a 4 versus 5 now with an Aegis on Gamin Gladiators on a 40,000 net worth lead, and the throne at half HP. A jump onto Duraccio. Duraccio is forcing the attention of Liquid onto him. Mickey, when's he going to hit this bound? The strike goes for it, but got hit by the Requiem at the same time. Quinn's back up to full health, and they'll chase after Insania for the dieback. Now it's 2. Nisha with a BKB. Burrow striking out of the base, but your throne is dead. 2-0 now for Gamin Gladiators.